Well, whoever is in here, I can't see who it is, but welcome to the show. So tonight we're going to be talking about our favorite topic: to dismantle atheism, where it fails logically, epistemologically, morally, and fails logically, epistemologically, morally, and it fails on the face of the fact that we see evidence of design in nature all around us, and that the evidence of God is overwhelming and irrefutable. All right, here's where we go here. So, all right, let's get into it. So, on the face of it, I'm going to go through the 4 points again. On the face of it, it fails. Atheism fails logically, epistemologically, morally, and what does that want to feel? It feels because there's so much obvious. It's so obvious that this world is created. It boggles my mind that people still believe or claim to believe that God doesn't exist. So let's go through one at a time. So the one we start with first is the moral argument. So the moral argument, we say that morality is just a standard, I would say, of which we judge good and bad behavior to what is right and what is wrong, what is immoral, what is moral. So, and we know where right and wrong. We know good and evil. We know it intuitively because, God wrote His law on our hearts. God wrote His perfect moral law on the hearts of all men, and by men I mean all people. So that's why with atheism, so God wrote His law on our heart. He basically stamped morality on the hearts of all people. So the reason that atheism doesn't work from a moral point of view is because, if my morality is contrary to your morality, how do you decide whose morality is moral? Well, the thing is, in a system where God doesn't exist, you can't, because in order for something, the standard of morality has to be absolute. In the standard of morality, it can't be human, because if humans were the arbiters of morality, then it's just my preference. So for example, in atheism, I can't even say that rape is objectively wrong. I can only say, in my view, it's wrong because it's harmful, it's a violation of trust, and it's deeply traumatizing. But I can't say, if I were an atheist, I can't say that rape is actually objectively morally evil and wrong. I can only say I think it is. So you need a standard outside of humanity by which we derive a sense our morality from, and we call this person God. Now, second point, epistemology. Epistemology basically means study of knowledge, or maybe to put it another way, epistemology just means, how do you know that what you know is true? So, So atheism, of course, is unprovable and untestable because God is immaterial, and you can't know that God doesn't exist because you can't have knowledge of an immaterial being non-existent. But you could say, well, Rob, what about all those other ones, right? Like Osiris and Zeus. And here's the thing: there's clear differences between God, especially the God of the Bible, and all those mythological creatures that we all know to be fallacious. And drawing a line between comparing those two it's so absurd. Um, and those are all creatures. God isn't a creature. God is uncreated. He's eternal. He's the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Before him there is no other, and after him there will be no other. And he rules supreme on the throne. So epistemology. So you can't trust it for epistemology because like you can't know that atheism is true because you can't know that God doesn't exist. So you have no reason whatsoever to trust it for a source of knowledge for your life. It's so stupid. And then of course logic. So if atheism is true and we are a result of an unguided process through natural selection and evolution and naturalism arising, so you wouldn't actually have the logical thoughts because in order to know something's logic, you have to be weighed against something. But if there is no creation, everything is determinism. You can't have logic and determinism in the same universe. It doesn't work because we'd have no choice. Everything you do you just do. There's no choices. There's no morality. It's just is logic. There's no logic. It's pure determinism. You can't have logic and pure determinism in the same under umbrella. It violates the law of non-contradiction, which means two things cannot be true at the same time. Like for example, it can be Tuesday or Wednesday, but it can be both Tuesday and Wednesday at the same time. This is an example. The last one, of course, is design. We know from natural observation to a natural world, there's so much design in nature, uniformity in nature, weather patterns, cellular structure. We're able to we know the past, the future will be like the present because we have the past to judge it by, and it's been a pretty reliable system of how things go for the most part. So we know that there's the human brain makes over 1 billion calculations a second. The human eye has over 3 million light sensitive cells per eye. DNA is biological code. Code requires code. Coding requires code. Coding requires code. There we go. Reducible complexity in cells. There's over 8 billion people on the planet. No two people have the same two fingerprints. And it's just so obvious that we're designed. The sweater is designed. This wall behind me is this building is designed. Everything is designed. And you want to tell me that life itself, which is intricately and infinitely more complicated than anything in the natural world, wasn't designed. You're out of your mind. You're being willfully ignorant if you dispute the very existence of your creator. All right, so I'll just leave it at that. So hopefully I can get some people to ask me questions or join me in the live stream. I've got both StreamYard and YouTube streaming simultaneously at the moment. So I don't know. Maybe people can be me, or sorry, maybe people that can engage me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Let's see if I can get something going here. So yes, so atheists, and again, I'm not saying, and no theist in his right mind, his or her mind would say that atheists can't be moral, but the atheists have no justification for their morality. See, it's one thing to be moral. It's another. Does your philosophy, your epistemology, your ideology, does it justify it? And you might say, I don't need to justify it. I just know what is right. No, that's actually not true. You need to be able to ground the things you believe in a source that can be trusted. And if you don't, then you're foolish. And I don't say that to be disparagingly or to be uncouth, but it's just true. I mean, we have to live in a real world, and the real world has logic, and we have the laws of logic, laws of mathematics. We have abstract. You live in a world where abstract and immaterial thoughts and concepts are very part of the fabric of what makes up us human beings and social creatures. We can't deny these things. Okay, we can deny these things, but we do so at our own peril. And it's interesting we do. A lot of times atheists will say, "Oh, you believe the Bible is because the Bible says you can't argue with the Bible." I'm like, well, it's written in a book by man. Like, so you're gonna toss out the window everything written by men. So you can't know if Nero existed. You can't know if Muhammad existed. You can't know if Joseph Smith existed. You can't know if all your presidents existed. Can't know if, or most of your presidents existed. There's no shot. You can't even know your own. You can't know anything. I mean, like if you're gonna use the argument that God didn't exist, or you can't believe the Bible because it's written by men, like that's a really stupid argument, man. Like beyond belief, stupid. To think that just because it was written by people, it can't be trusted. And like, you don't even probably apply the same amount of scrutiny to the Bible as any other text of history of the world. I guarantee you, atheists don't do that. So it's hypocritical too. Like atheists are, I don't know, atheists. If there's one worldview I've never been able to make sense of, that'd be the one. Like I've lived my life many times as though God didn't exist, but to think that this world is uncreated it's mind-blowingly willful ignorance to even suggest that this world could possibly be uncreated. So you want the most wild theory I've heard is abiogenesis is basically spontaneous generation absent design. Now I believe in obviously creation that God designed this world, but to think that how do you get organic matter from inorganic matter? It's probably the most retarded theory I've ever heard. To think that non-life can become life. I mean, how does that happen? Have you ever observed it? No. Well, that can be considered scientific. It's stupid. It's so freaking stupid, man. I think that it boggles my mind. I'm gonna hopefully Gary and Gary and I have done this before. And I'm just gonna pop his, because we talked about abiogenesis a few weeks ago. It's so stupid. Abiogenesis. I might actually have to link some of the stuff that Gary and I did. Yeah. I should be able to find it in Gary's chat. Give me a second. Well, no one's here anyway, so. Shoot. Let's see, I should be able to find.
told me that like 4 times. Hi. Oh. Yeah, that's a good one. Wait for yours. Look at your receipt. I have it.
All right. So okay. All right. Well, one person's in stream here.
I have the chili chicken, not the.
Did you order? Did I give you the wrong thing?
Yeah, that's probably why. I think it's for Jackson's order, right?
Jackson, what did you order? One of each, right? And what were you supposed to get? The cheeseburger one?
Yeah.
Right here. Do you want a new one, Jackson? Okay. You know that. Okay, here.
I mean, yes, I need another one.
So you just need the cheeseburger one? Sorry, I just need the sweet chili cheeseburger one or whatever. Chicken cheeseburger. I have to see chili chicken.
They're not doing a new one.
Alright. Oh, maybe I'll link it next time. But anyways, oh, we got the comment section open. It's okay. Oh, you're here. Okay, sorry. You okay, Wesley? You seem a little bit unhinged, buddy. Okay, you're a Christian. That's cool. All right, Shelby, good. So, I think you said you wanted to join me for something. I don't know why. The comments aren't showing for a second, for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Goodbye, Wesley. Have a good night. Hope you find the Lord, and I will. What am I going to hell for, Wesley? Are you the judge of my soul now? Am I tempting Satan with 32,523? What the heck are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Oh, unless I'm weird. I have no idea what that number is from. Alright, so, you shall not eat the mark. When I have no idea what you're talking about, Wesley. You're kind of not making any sense to me. I don't know. I haven't talked about the mark in a long time, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you think I'm going to hell, but that's kind of weird.
You want back bacon? No problem. Is that everything? But you want one with? Okay. No problem. You can get that. If you want to go to your car, it'll be another couple minutes on fresh egg, okay? No problem.
Oh man. People have all kinds of interesting. Yeah, just a little bit, Wesley or Nitty? Nitty, you wanted? Yeah.
Jackson, you're waiting on Junior, okay?
Alright.
Interesting. Yeah, he's a little bit off his rocker. I agree, Nitty. You have any questions for me, Nitty? my YouTube section. Goodbye, Wesley. Try to maybe get a little more. Take care of your health, buddy. Ignorance is not only an eternal bliss. It's not eternal bliss, only being saved. I don't think of ignorance as eternal bliss. I don't think ignorance is bliss at all. I think that's probably one of the most worst euphemisms and expressions we have. I am located in. I'm in a McDonald's diner. Yeah, I thought you meant location. I live in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, which is about an hour west of Toronto. You are deranged. You're calling me deranged. What? No, Wesley. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Wesley is deranged. No question about it. Because it's open late, and I choose not to have internet at my own place because of my own proclivities in the past. And I'm a single guy, so I want to be pure before God, and one of the best ways for me to be pure and remain pure is not to have internet at my house. Now that's just me. If people want to attack me for being wise about my own proclivities, I really don't give a shit. But that's why I'm there. So McDonald's is open till midnight, and it's the only thing that has Wi-Fi that's open late. Well, actually, that's not true. The library is too, but our library Wi-Fi in Hamilton's been wonky because we had a cyber attack against the city of Hamilton, and a lot of the services have been really down lately. Well, that's consistent. I don't want to attack you for doing what you believe keeps you mentally, physically healthy. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. David, sorry, I'm talking to a guy on Twitter. David, whose Twitter handle is at dvd butler. Yes, David, we have good reasons to affirm the resurrection of Jesus. We have reliable eyewitness testimony. We have geographical accuracy. We have death of the martyrs. People die for life, but no one dies for life. They know is a lie. And we have corroboration of the gospel, extra biblical text. There's other sources just off the top of my head, as Josephus and Tacitus. There's two examples. David Butler at his Twitter handle. I am responding to DM. Yeah, no, I was responding to a comment, not a DM. So that's what I was doing there. All right. Yeah, I'm on Twitter and StreamYard and YouTube all at the same one time. So how do I turn this? Oops. Yeah, I'm on Twitter, YouTube, and StreamYard right now. So, David, you're right. It's not about the position. You're not making an appeal to expert. David, your argument is ignorant. Like the evidence for the resurrection of Jesus Christ is so strong that no one in their right mind. Yeah, StreamYard. Yeah, you're child of God. You're responding to StreamYard right now. Yeah, StreamYard is a great service, by the way. I highly recommend it. I've just started using it for all of my apologetics streaming stuff. I've also used it. I also use it for I haven't used it for my self-defense videos yet, but might in the future if I so desire. StreamYard is amazing, and it's like Zoom, but I think it's in terms of a streaming service, in terms of graphics and user friendliness, I think StreamYard is a fantastic service. Highly recommend it. Just recently bought 50 hours of storage on my StreamYard channel, so I can do everything I want to with apologetics. So I can host people. I can have the debates that I'm having in April with Arvin and Trent, and a couple other people in June. I'm having one through Modern Day Debate YouTube channel. Is going to host me and another guy, London Storm, I believe is his, not his handle. I think that's his username. What's MDD? Yeah, I usually schedule chats, but every once in a while, like tonight, I just decided to do a random live unscheduled. Um, I have a schedule for Monday at noon or later. I have a schedule with dude from Texas, Gary at Fort Worth Crosstalk, FTW Crosstalk Boy. You can see in the handle at the top. And I have a schedule for 5 o'clock for Eastern Standard Time on Fridays, and then Tuesdays and Thursday nights I have karate. So I started it more as being a guest on other people's channel, like Gary's or whoever else's, or the debates. For debates with Steve McRae and Jackson Wheat in January, I was on their channels and they were hosting, but now I want to do more, produce my own content and do it that way. So. Dave. David, you should just take the L and move on, buddy. Man. Oh, God haters. Like, your mocking, your scoffing is going to come to an end one day, man. Yeah, I have a debate on the 8th with Arvin on Once Saved, Always Saved. I have a debate with Trent Horn on the 29th of this month. I have a belt grading in my karate in May. I have a kickboxing tournament in May. I've got I have a karate tournament in June, and I have 2 debates in June. So it's going to be a really busy spring for me, obviously. And I kind of like keeping busy. I find life is a lot more fun when we keep active, keep busy, stay out of trouble. So I got 2 debates. It's kind of different. All right, hide the current drama. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay, now I know. I'm still getting used to this stuff. Yes, right. I have a lot of debates. I have 2 debates this month. So, and then in May, I'm going to kind of take it easy. I have no debates in May, at least not yet. I might do maybe one, but for the most part, I want to keep the debates. The most. Most amount of debates I'll do in May is one. Well, I may do one debate with an atheist in May, but yeah, probably just one debate. So yeah, someone's asking me if I've heard of Dudley Daniel, Bible Jesus, Mr. Bible Jesus. No, I can't. I have not heard of Dudley Daniel. But apparently, he's good at karate. I don't get paid for David. That's just such a stupid argument, man. I don't get paid for anything I do in apologetics. I'm not trying to woo anybody into my orbit by making unsupported claims. You're making the unsupported claim that Jesus hasn't risen from the dead, and acting licensed if you get slight incensed. Oh no, I've just in a bad mood. I'm not usually incensed, David, but I don't get paid, so you're just an ignorant person if you think I'm getting money for anything that I'm doing with my apologetics work. It's all voluntary. So you may want to backtrack your comments there, David, because you're just sounding like an ignorant idiot when you make claims that about people who get paid for things and you have no idea, which you clearly don't. David. I don't understand why people like you do this kind of. And you see, you set up a situation where now you're on a public platform. Now I'm on 3 public platforms. I'm on Twitter, StreamYard, and YouTube. And now all 3 people, and not all 3 of those suits, know that you just made a fool of yourself, David, by making a stupid, ignorant comment about me that you have no knowledge of. I don't make any money like anything I do in apologetics. At least not yet. I hope to eventually. There's nothing wrong with making money in apologetics. I mean, apologetics is a lot of hard work. I mean, and I've been getting pushback for a long time. So the other thing about people like David, of course, is like everyone has their moments, right? And I certainly have my fair share of moments where I act subpar. I don't act as though I should, but say that I always get incensed. Well, again, can't take one moment in time and think that's what you're dealing with all the time, unless you're really ignorant. So that's just it's a bad idea. Tilting against evolution. David, you want to debate me in evolution, buddy? I'll rip you apart in a debate. Put your money where your mouth is, big boy. Let's have a debate sometime, you and me. Put your money where your mouth is, David. You're an ignorant fool, David. I'll debate you anytime, buddy. Within reason, as long as it doesn't conflict with anything else I got. As long as I don't have a conflict comes into conflict with anything else I have going on, and I have the time, I'll debate you, David. Put your money where your mouth is, David. I guarantee you, I'm more than likely far and away more intelligent than you are. Yeah, this is getting spicy. This is getting spicy.
They're saying if the bush fries are way cheaper, they just feel like the bush fries is way cheaper, or bush beer is way cheaper than like the Budweiser stuff. It's like $3 cheaper, so that's like overruns, but it's good. I don't mind it. I was like, I like Budweiser. It's better. That's disgusting. I also like no. The one guy called Braden and Fatty. Yeah, it's like, is he watching so Fatty?
This should be interesting. I know there's got to be a few people that are. Alright, it's the same 2 people on YouTube that are in my StreamYard shot right now. Let's see. I am.
He always hypes me up. So well. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was saying that I really favor the blocking side. They never saw anything on my catching side.
Something in the Bible or false that lower confidence in the resurrection? No. I mean, there's slight discrepancy in which disciple got to the tomb first. So no, that wouldn't. If something in the Bible it was like a minor thing, like which disciple got to the tomb first, doesn't lower my confidence in the resurrection. There's nothing that would lower my confidence in the resurrection. The resurrection of Christ is so historically airtight in its veracity that if there was a small thing in the Bible that wasn't true, no, that would not lower my confidence in the resurrection. I don't know. No, yeah. It's a good question, though. What if there were some things like the Exodus wholesale didn't happen? If the accident that's a good question, because the Exodus is pretty significant to biblical prophecy. If the Exodus didn't happen, that would definitely put a lot of things into question. That's a good question. If the Exodus didn't happen, because the Exodus is very biblical prophetic. So I don't know how to answer that question because first of all it did, but if it didn't happen, then there's a lot of things that would be that would probably shake the foundations of a lot of things. Those are my first two debates, buddy. I'm kind of new to debates. So, and plus, Jackson. Yeah, but Jackson's my first one, so. Yeah. All right. Somebody on Twitter, his name is NTN the Terminal. I would recommend. Every kind of karate is good. I mean, it really depends. I mean, you can do. I would understand. I would suggest if you want to take karate, maybe Google which dojos you want to take. Personally, I'm here learning. Let's see what's it called. I'm not good with Japanese, so bear with me. Styles. There we go. Oh yeah. I'm taking Gojuru karate. Gojuru karate is the one I'm taking. And I personally really enjoy it. All styles of karate, just about most martial arts are good. I would, I would say, judo, karate, Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. Yeah, so I'd say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, karate, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, judo, Krav Maga. Those are the styles I would say to gravitate towards, if any, but the more of the common ones. So if you're gonna, I always recommend to people, if you're gonna take martial arts, I always recommend take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu +1, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best ground game style combat system in the world. Yeah. If the accident didn't happen, I'm just answering Nydia. Yeah, if the accident happened, that would definitely shake my foundation of the Bible. There's no question about it. Let me see. The Bible is backed by history. Just see if it's critical of Jesus Christ. Yep. Amen. Why do you believe? Okay, put this one up. Why do you believe that everyone who disagrees with me is... I don't believe that everyone who disagrees with me is a demon-possessed sinner who's easy to research churches. People come up with this. Willie Blogwin, go take your meds, man. This is a ridiculous question. Okay. All right, Willie, how do you watch someone on Twitter? Do you know Rob? He says he's live in it, but I don't see that, even though I'm in his profile. All right. Let's see. Man, people have some weird questions. I don't believe everyone is. Incredulity is atheism. Stick, you ignorant. Ignorance. Man. Let's see. Let's go back to StreamYard. Yeah, it's a technical question. Yeah, that was a good one about the Exodus. So yeah, if the Exodus didn't happen, that would be very problematic for Christianity. Aaron Raw is online done Twitter tonight. He's suggesting that I'm reading something, and I'm suggesting to Aaron Ra to read the Gospel of John. Gospel of John is my favorite gospel because it really just blows all the water out of the deity of Jesus Christ. What question are you trying to ask? Sorry, I've got a lot going on here, buddy. So what question would you want? What do you want me to answer? Are you trying to ask Willie or me? I'm not really sure you're asking, child of God. Maybe you could respond to that in the comment section. The Twitter thing. Oh, okay. Everyone's a demon possessed sinner. Man. Willie, where do you come up with this stuff, man? Yeah, see? David's a big boy until he gets I hope so. Not sure yet. Oh, okay. Twitter thing. So, can you re-ask the question, child of God? What about Twitter? I'm not really sure what are you asking? Just ask it plainly and simply. Yeah, I suppose you got a good point there, Nadia. Yeah, you're right. If the Exodus didn't happen, that would definitely shake my faith. The thing is, I know the Exodus didn't happen, so it's so hypothetical. All right, see you, man. Have a good night. Thanks for asking questions. All right, so we got 4 people on my live stream here on StreamYard. So how do you stream? Oh, okay. So what I do is I use StreamYard, and what I do is I have a link that I can click on. It says invite. Then that copies a link, and then I just copy the link, and then I copy and paste it to Twitter, and then people on Twitter like yourselves can click on it and join me here outside of Jesus, there's no salvation, Lucas. Because Jesus says if you want to enter the kingdom of heaven, you have to be born again. So, John 3:3. No worries, I just didn't understand what you meant. All right, so Lucas. Now, Lucas, when you say outside the church, you mean the Catholic Church? I'm assuming that's what you're saying, but can you clarify? So right now, maybe I should just say I'm responding to someone on my StreamYard service. Oh man, this guy Stark Thanos, he's saying. I gotta admit that Okay, so Lucas, you're probably aware of the fact that Gary and I've done my own series on my own YouTube channel about disproving Catholicism, and then Gary and I, whose handle is on Twitter is FTW_crosstalk, are currently in the process of producing a show on a weekly basis that debunks Catholicism from a biblical point of view. So, and the Bible makes it clear that there's no salvation outside of Christ. So church doesn't have the authority of salvation. Christ has the authority over your salvation. People, organizations, churches don't have a right to your soul. Only Jesus has the right to your soul. So salvation is not with the church. Now, the church should point you in the direction of your salvation, but the church itself isn't the gatekeeper of salvation. And Lucas, you really need to get... Oh, you killed your kid. All right, see. Now I've got... let's bring this fool here. Ring system music. It killed your god. He offered no challenge. It's a shame you've consigned yourself to a lifetime of being under the yoke of imaginary skylight. Okay, ring system music. If you don't believe in God, then your default would have to be what? Abiogenesis. So you believe in spontaneous generation. You believe in that life created itself. You believe in life from non-life. You believe in intelligence from non-intelligence, and you believe everything came from nothing. You want to talk about imagination? Trust me, man. Abiogenesis is far more of a stretch than I've got. So if you want to talk about imagination, hats off to you, my friend. You've got me beat, hands down. Yes, but I explain what the big words are, Smith and free market. I simplify things very easily and quickly, and to make a language accessible that anyone who listens to me can understand what I'm talking about, because I maybe use big words and complicated concepts at first, but I explain things in a way that makes sense so everyone who's got some semblance of intelligence and common sense would be able to understand what I'm talking about. I don't try to trip people up in unnecessary detail, because I am a linguist, I'm a rhetorician, I'm a logician, I'm an apologist. So I'm a big believer in common sense and personal responsibility. So I use big words. Big words. I use big words, but I simplify them so we can all understand what's going on. Yeah. On the education system, that's a good question. Okay, so talk about public school. I don't know, because I'm Canadian, but I'm just going to assume, because that we're both in the Western, that I believe that both the education system and Canada, you say it's not an education system, it's an indoctrination system. They're taught one system, Darwinian evolution, from the time they walk into kindergarten, from the time they graduate from high school, and post-secondary if they go to public secondary education. They're being indoctrinated into accepting a worldview, but they're not being taught anything contrary to it. The thing is, when people try to introduce a message that's contrary to the narrative that they've been ingrained and taught for so many years, the indoctrination systems, the powers that be, will of course not be okay with it. We're still not sure what the unit is. That's a great God of the gap. Oh, man. But thing is, your entire argument, big system music, is of the gaps. You have no argument. You can't say you don't know, but you know that God didn't do it. That's just stupid. Like, use your head, man. Come on. No, man, you're using abiogenesis of the gods. We don't know, but we know God didn't do it. That's just stupid, man. Come on. So you got life from non-life. We know that every other cause effects have causes. This sweater was designed. This wall behind me was designed. My cell phone was designed. The webcam, all the streaming services that I'm using right now are designed. But you want to tell me life and the universe and everything in it happened spontaneously? Are you out of your freaking mind, man? Why is greed bad if it builds modern economy? Well, that's a good ethical question. I'm going to put this up here. Actually, I like this question a lot. Why is greed bad? Well, it's like saying, to paraphrase, I can use another question, analogously for Smith and free market. Would that be like saying, why is it bad to kill someone if it furthers my agenda? Killing might be a bit of extreme. Let me think about this. Maybe I'll think about this analogy. Maybe I'll just answer the question directly face on. If greed is greed is bad because greed usually it's selfish, right? So it's greed. The Bible, I mean, it's considered one of the 7 deadly sins, but all sin is deadly because all sin leads to death. But greed is bad, even if it builds economic systems, because if I have to step on someone's toes, and I'm not talking about fantasy. Arid, you're hilarious. It's always funny. Atheists think they have all knowledge. Let's see here. Okay, you're right. You're right. Humans, termites, and ants built some things here, and a variety of natural forces create. Yeah, see, but so that's circular and begging the question. Prove to me that natural forces create cosmic phenomena, because in order for something to create, there has to be a mind and a will. Like a mind and a will had to create the clothes that I'm wearing. But you can't use but nature can't you can't use something for the evidence for it. Like life can't justify itself. Universe doesn't justify itself. It doesn't create itself. It doesn't explain itself. Logic doesn't come from logic. Logic comes from something else. So same thing with creation. You can't say that just the natural forces created cosmic phenomena. That's circular reasoning and begging the question. So you're gonna have to do a little bit better than that. Yes, agreed. Now here's a good question for you. Why is inequality bad? I don't mean that facetiously, but I really want you to think, what makes inequality bad? Why is that a bad thing? I agree that it's a bad thing, but I want you, ring system music, tell me why you believe inequality is a bad thing. This has been fun. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can say all that. Okay, well, being brought up doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of people who say that I was brought up in a Christian home and I became atheist. Well, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not sure why. See, yes, I can say everyone has. There's a lot of things I don't know. I have no idea how many molecules are in each of my hair. I have no idea. I don't have no idea how to build a house. I have no idea how to build a car. I have no idea how to build a cell phone. I have no idea how this webcam works. Let's see. Let's bring this one up. All right, results in inequality. Really, greed is why more people live in a modern. Well, I don't see. I think we have to differentiate between greed and ambition. Ambition is usually a good thing. Well, selfish ambition, of course, is not a good thing. But to be ambitious on the face of it, and to be a wealthy person, like if I work really hard and I earn millions of dollars through the work that I do, there's nothing wrong with that on itself. If I'm building wealth legally and ethically, there's nothing wrong with building wealth. Now, how I use my wealth, of course, is up to me, but there's nothing wrong with being wealthy. Now, of course, those Christians are probably going to say, well, what about Jesus saying, it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of the needle than the rich man to go through the hand. And what Jesus meant by that is the issue usually with wealth is that there's a connection between money and the human heart, and usually people are wealthy will rely on their wealth and make that with their wealth of God rather than relying on the Lord Himself. So we have to be careful with wealth, but being wealthy itself isn't a sin. Now, if I was a wealthy person, of course, God would expect me that I handle my wealth well, that I would be generous with my wealth and resources, which I would be, by the way. I'm not tied to money. I know money's necessary, and we all need money to live. No question about that. But well, you don't think I can dismiss? All right, let's bring All right, let's bring this guy out. You don't think I can? You don't think I can get? I can dismantle atheism? You. Oh, I got a better idea. Why are you telling me why you think I can't dismantle atheism? I'm not in the bathroom. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it, child of God. We're stewards. So exactly, this life doesn't last forever. Jesus talked about why do not build up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Uh,
Because it's not as good of that. They lost their out. We don't listen to that. So the actors are gonna look like terrible. This is not like holy fuck, you guys. There's a couple. I want to go fucking street. I was trying to get it. Thank God they a lot of people are so tired.
Aaron Rock accusing me of lying. How ironic. Let's see here. I do have a job. I'm on call for I work for a warehouse, a Salvation Army warehouse. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm not at the library. Well, I mean, if I'm not working, I do spend a fair bit of time at the library. I get a lot of. I like the library because it's quiet and it's got nice study rooms. Yeah, for sure it is. Tell me about it. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, it is. We all need a sense of humor. And yeah, we all need to lighten up and we all need to learn not to take our things. Aaron Roy accusing me of lying. But, Aaron, I haven't said that. I've read the things you're talking about. What I'm saying is I have read a lot of material on macroevolution. So, but Aaron maybe is thinking about, he's thinking I'm saying that I read the ones he had in mind, which Craig said. I had told him, I said, I haven't read all materials in macroevolution, perhaps not the one you have in mind, but I have in fact read much on the topic. So I think Aaron is being a little hyperliteral. What mental disorder do I have? I don't know. I'm not aware of any that I do have. Are you asking if I... Yeah, I usually do, but I have my moments. Are you asking if I studied apologetics? Oh, at university. Okay, no, I have not studied apologetics at university. I've self-taught. I've been I've gone to conferences with Rabbi Zacharias back in the day. Say what you want about his lifestyle outside of apologetics. The man himself was a brilliant apologist. I'll just leave it at that. But so Rabbi Zacharias, David Wood, Nabil Qureshi, Frank Turk, William Lane Craig, who else? Andrew Wilson. So yeah, I haven't studied apologetics at university, but I've been interested in apologetics for many years. I've been studying it on the sidelines, if you will, self-taught for about 20 years or so. So just for me, apologetics is just it's something I've been fascinated in developing my own, developing myself in the area of apologetics. Because I think it's, sure you did, buddy. All right.
You're slow. Can I send one of your girlfriends?
I don't believe you. No, yeah, but yeah, I have not studied apologetics at university. That all of my apologetics has been mostly self-taught. Let me see. Where are we at? We're about an hour now. All right. So the one person is that I don't work at Cornerstone anymore, so I really don't care if someone does email them too. So,
I still have
uh,
I tried.
okay. Let's see here. What do you think the best argument for the existence of any God? My consensus for the argument of God would be, I think morality, epistemology. I think morality. I think morality and induction are probably the best arguments for God, the existence of God. Now, my question for you, Chantage, is what do you think would be the best argument against God in your opinion? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Cool. Oh, man. Why do atheists have so many trolls? Not finding evidence that there should be. I don't know. I'm gonna debate. I don't want to go too much into it right now, but you can watch the stream when I upload it later on at some later time. But I would just say that morality, logic, epistemology, and induction are, in my mind, very good arguments for the existence of God, and that life doesn't make sense without God. In my estimation, observation, and experience, I don't find life to me sensible. I don't find life. See, the thing is, life is meaningful regardless of our ideology or epistemology. But I think divine hiddenness, probably, those are probably two of the more. But I don't think those are really good ones either. Yeah, sure, man. We can chant edge. DM me on Twitter, and we'll set up a time for a conversation. I don't think divine hiddenness is that. I'm getting to there, yeah. So here's what I think. I think you can have a full life, regardless of your epistemology or philosophy or ideology or whatever. But I don't think life is. I think life is full when God is at the center. It's probably a better way I could put it. When God is at the center of your life, then everything else seems to fit. I find that if you try to live your life without God, and you can raise a family, have kids, work hard, pay your taxes, and that's all things we should be doing. But I think if you leave God out of it, I think in the end it's still, I wouldn't say narcissist, but it's still backhanded selfishness. So I think God helps us be humble and grateful, and I think God is like the piece of the puzzle that life doesn't really make sense without. I think life doesn't really make sense without God. Life I've never found it to be, and I found life isn't nearly as satisfactory if we're living life without God. Because in the end, if we're not living for God, we're really just living for ourselves, and living selfishly is not a good way to be. Well, the thing is are you skeptical? Are you skeptical of your own epistemology and are you skeptical of your own skepticism? And I'm not meaning that facetiously, to Chance Edge, but I actually mean that. Um, I mean that. I mean that. I'm not. I'm being honest, earnest. Are you skeptical of your own skepticism? Um, because I do believe in healthy, in having healthy. Okay. I'm gonna type in my. All right, so there you go, Chance Edge. You have. I just put my. Okay, that's what I just asked. Rob loves JC. I wrote it in the comment section just now. That's my handle on Twitter. So if you want to find me there, that's where you can find me. Yeah, but yeah, it would. So. Yeah, that's true. I gotta stop with personal attacks, though. Smith and Free Market. Are you a Christian, sir? Yeah, see, biology I've not been studying, but psychology. I think psychology, logic, theology. These are the things that I've been studying all of my life. I've always, and the other thing I really am interested in is what's it called? Linguistics. I've been studying. Yeah, I've always had a fascination with language and the epistemology of language and Latin and breaking down words and understanding the meaning in epistemology. I find epistemology in the English language a very fascinating field of topic in my mind. I think most people that don't have really much of a clue or grasp of the English language as much as they should, and I believe that rhetoric has lost a lot of people. Yeah, that's cool. I think there's an overlap between psychology, theology, and philosophy. I think, but I'm not a biologist, but I understand. I understand on the face of things. I understand. I pick up concept very quickly. Yes, culture is very interesting. No question about that. I was with a Filipino lady for 10 years, Chance Edge. Fortunately, it didn't work out. We're just too different. But I think Filipino culture is beautiful. I think most cultures are beautiful. So there's that. I appreciate culture. I appreciate the variance of cultures. We have. I used to work for a company in Toronto that makes the naan bread. Of course, naan is the Indian flatbread, and so we our crew, which would be majorly Filipinos. The only thing I don't like about Filipino culture is too much rice, but Filipinos are so hardworking, so hospitable, so much fun. The karaoke, and there's Filipino is a really rich culture, I think. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that your wife passed away, man. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear you're widowed. Hopefully, I hope you find love again. Hopefully both we will find love again, Chance Edge. Yeah, I know. I was really hoping it would work out too, but yeah, my ex and I were just too different. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it really is that simple. Sometimes it doesn't work out because you're with someone whose personality is just too contrary to your own. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope so too. Sometimes when I'm thinking, let's put this one up. Sometimes when I'm thinking, I'm not really thinking too well. Then I realized that was pretty well what that I wasn't thinking. They call me a regular genius. That's hilarious. I think you missed your calling. You should have been a stand-up comedian, Smith and Free Market. All right, you're welcome. Yeah, you're right. We gotta learn to smile and laugh sometimes to take ourselves too seriously, and it's never a good thing to take yourself too seriously. I'm a serious word, but man, I love to laugh and have a good time too. You know, when like people said, like I had this one guy said, "No, you're really welcome." So I gave verses for the Trinity, and someone said that I'm like, "Oh, you're all about dogma." I'm like, no, I'm not. I use scripture to support the positions that I hold, but I'm not a. I am not a. I don't use scripture. I'm not. I'm not. That's not my dogma. That's such a weird argument. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm into as probably most of you, if not all of you, know by now. Like I'm into mixed martial arts. I'm an avid reader. I host poker once a month with me and my buddies. What else? I enjoy photography. I enjoy nature walks. Hanging out, going for coffee, seeing the odd movie. Like, oh, I know. You're giving me a big thank you, and you're very, very welcome, sir. But like it, and I want to get a set of drums at some point too. So I don't know. I live life very passionately, and I think we should, especially for Christians. I think living life with passion, it just makes life so much more enjoyable to live that way. So, no, I have not considered playing the violin. That's
So
not
I
my
just locked
thing.
the doors up, so if you want to leave, just come see one of us, okay?
Sure, thank you.
We're closing early today because we're down a bar. But you can sit. Just let us know when
Are you streaming the debate that you mentioned on Twitter? I will be streaming it. Yeah. Well, actually, the debate that I'm going to do on Twitter is I'm going to record it on StreamYard. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I can't do comment section with the debate going on because it's for me that'll just be a train wreck of distraction. What's inerrancy? Well, I'll pull this one up from Steven. I would say that's a dicey question because, like, for example, you've got contrary, who got for between Matthew and Mark, I believe you've contrary eyewitness testimony about who got to tomb first. So I think I would put it this way, Stephen. I believe that Scripture is doctrinally inerrant and it has very, very minor grammar or a minor consistency issue with which disciple got to the tomb first. But in terms of doctrine, absolutely Scripture is inerrant in terms of doctrine. What is the level of math you took? That would be grade 12. I took math to grade 12. So yeah, that answers that question. So with the debate, yeah, I'm gonna record it. So I think it was what math did I take in grades? That would be algebra. I took algebra in grade 12. Algebra and trigonometry. It was algebra and trig. Sorry. The trig was grade 11. Yeah, that's right. Algebra is grade 12. All right, friends. It's getting a little late here, so I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna end the stream. Sorry, and I'll take 3 more questions in the next 2 minutes. But at 11:30, I'm closing this live stream. Yeah, well, we take there's basic and there's advanced algebra. So yeah, I took algebra in grade school too, but there was a more advanced version in grade 12. Okay, that's one. Two more questions. Yes. So yeah, I did take it in grade 7, but there's a more advanced. There was a more advanced one in that time. See if anything's coming. All right, nothing's happening there. Nothing's happening on Twitter. This has been fun. I like it when this happens. All right, you got one more minute. One more minute, and up to 2 more questions about what history do you take? I didn't take grade 12 history. I think history I took up to grade 11. It was because it wasn't a required course for my curriculum for taking history after grade 11. That'd be like that would be more basic history. That'd be Canadian history, like our legal system, our history of the country, and some world history too, obviously, like World War II, World War I, those kind of things. So, be like your basic, knowledge of general history and also more specifically Canadian history, Canadian law. All right, one more. Were you? No, I was not. I was never super popular, so no, I wasn't that. And then with that, friends, I'm going to end the live stream in 3, 2, 1. And the live stream is finished. All right, now I'm going to end it on YouTube and stream and